Let's pay homage to the lineage gurus, homage to the Venerable Mang Liao Ming, homage to Master Sakya Cheng Kung, homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa, and homage to Master Dupten Darji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of Homa today. The Venerable Ishi Chuka. Homage to the four guardian mothers, the 8 directional Dakinis, and the 20 heavenly goddesses. Homage to the 5 great Buddha mothers of Guru Padmasambhava, Ishi Chogal, Mandarawa, Sakya Devi, Kalashiti, and Tashi children. Sumo, Tanzan Katso, Tutan City, all Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma lecturers, Dharma assistants, directors of temples and chapters, and all disciples here and over the internet. Good afternoon, how do you do? I still. Hola amigo. Te quiero mucho. Sugoin. Ichiban. Kimochi ii. Chumi. Yappy. Bling bling. Konbanwa. Not konbanwa, it's konnichiwa. It's good afternoon, not good evening. Konnichiwa. Now, I'd like to let everybody know about next Sunday, August 16, Sunday at 3 p.m. There will be Green Tara Homa fire offering ceremony. And Green Tara is the Tara Bodhisattva. And typically, Green Tara and the 21 Taras would come together. Green Tara and 21 Taras. So that includes the Tara who dispels epidemics, will all descend to the Homa Mandala, the Homa altar. And once in Kaohsiung, Taiwan, at the Ta I Lechang temple, I have transmitted the Dharma of Green Tara. And we have performed several deities of the 21 Taras. And of them, the Tara who dispels epidemics, the Homa have been performed many times. I hope everybody will register themselves as primary supplicants, because Green Tara is a very extraordinary and special bodhisattva. I have said it before, according to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa, that he practiced Tara in the daytime and the protector at night. That's his daily homework. In the daytime, he practiced Tara, Dharma practice, and at night he practiced protector, which was Mahakala. Mahakala.
所以这个16世大法王卡瓦巴
So His Holiness the 16th Karmapa once said that it is very easy to gain spiritual response with Tara.
那么今天呢，我们是做一喜出港的父母。
And today we perform the Homa of Ishichoka. And we all know the origin or the history of Ishichoka. In her past life, she was the ever-weeping Bodhisattva. At the time of Sakyamuni Buddha, she was the ever-weeping Bodhisattva. And she was also once a white Tara. And she was also the goddess of the Ganges River. And she was also Saraswati, the goddess with marvelous sound. So her reincarnations were innumerable. And then later on, Ishichuga reincarnated as Magic Lamdre. So therefore, her background was very tremendous. And the mudra, one is in the first, which is holding a Vajra scepter, and the other hand is holding a Kapala. That's her mudra. And her mantra three. There are three mantras of Ishichoka, and you can use any one of them.
它最主要呢，刚开始的时候啊，这个莲华生大师
In the beginning, Guru Padmasambhava transmitted to her the 9 stages of the Great Perfection Dharma. That's the Shravakahood, Bodhisattvahood, Pratyeka Buddhahood. And then, for Tantric Buddhism, the Kriya Yoga, Charya Yoga, and Yoga Tantra. And lastly, Mahayoga, Anuyoga, and Ati Yoga.
后来一起抽嘎修成
And
光化身，
eventually Ishichuga had the attainment of the rainbow light accomplishment, attainment of the rainbow light.
很重要的
So we could say that she is
法的教主，她也是等于灵马派的一个教主。
it's one of the patriarch of the Nyingma-pa
她是第一
who's
个佛
spreading Buddha Dharma.
她修成红光化身，
So she was the first and foremost consort of Buddha Mother of Guru Padmasambhava who had the attainment of rainbow body transformation. She was extremely great and tremendous.
法相大师有教她
Many pith instructions
关于
through her spiritual cultivation. Guru Padmasambhava taught her
行
about or related to
义
food, living, transportation, clothing, and the body, speech, and mind. Many
啊，
pith instructions or key formulas in spiritual cultivation
大家讲一个
that was transmitted by Guru Padmasambhava to her. And before the Dharma teaching, I would
在一
like
个精
to
神
tell
病
a
院里
joke.
面，
In the psychiatric ward, there were two
在
patients
热烈的
who were
一本书，
deeply involved in discussing a book.
就
The
讲
patient A said,
这本书啊，实在写的非常不错，
this
写得非
book
常好
was really
病人 B 就讲，
written well,
真的写得
written
太好，
really well. And patient
跟
B
本
said,
书以后
it's really well written.
巨作
It is
一句
a
绘画都没有，
great
简洁有
novel,
力，
classic,
只有一个缺点，
no
那
nonsense,
就是
very
出场
powerful.
人物太多了。
But there's one problem
这
is
时候
that too
来的
many
这个精神医院
characters
的
in it.
护士
And at this
护
time,
士
the nurse
就讲，
came by and said, hey,
你们两个
the
赶
two
快
of
把
you,
电话簿放回去。
return the phone book back to its place.
原来他们看的是电话，
So they were actually reading the phone
电话
book.
簿真的是没有什么绘画，
Of course, there are no
只有人物。
superfluous words. They're all just characters or
现
people.
在我们进行你问我答，
Now we will do the question and answer.
哇，这是来自于中国内地的
This question came from mainland China.
弟子平时修法，进入三昧
Normally, in my
地修法
practice,
方
the way
式
I enter samadhi is
虚空中诸佛菩萨放
in
光
the
照
sky, the deities radiating light
自
upon
己
me.
变成师尊，
I myself becomes Grand
心
Master,
轮莲花上，叶轮中的吽日
and the home syllable on top of the lotus in my heart
光
chakra
光
radiates light toward the
相，然
deities.
后呢，
Light reflects
禅定
upon
在
light,
光中
and I meditate amidst the
他
light.
修法很奇特，
So this
所
person's
有的
practice very
诸尊
special, very
放光
unique.
照他，
All the
他自己
deities
变成
radiating
佛
light
师尊
upon
然后
her,
心轮莲花
and
上
she
叶轮
became
中的
Grand
吽日
Master. And then the home syllable on the lotus in my heart
所有
chakra
的诸尊
radiates light
光
towards the
光
deities,
相照，
and
然
light
后在
reflects
禅
upon
定在
light.
光中
And then She meditates amidst the light.
有一天晚上，她
One
做了一
night,
个梦，
she had a dream.
师
In the
尊
dream,
在虚
Grand
空
Master in the
放
sky
光照我，
shining light
我也
upon
在
me.
梦中持
I was also chanting
师尊心咒，
the root Guru mantra in the dream.
心轮莲花开放，
The lotus in my
莲
heart
花
chakra
上夜
opened,
轮后日，
and the
放
home
光照
syllable
向
on the
世尊，
moon disk on top of the lotus
光
radiates
光
light
相照，
toward Grand Master.
一刹
Light
那间，
reflects
自
upon
己
light,
变成了
and in the
如是
flesh,
尊，
I became
跟
Grand
着我就
Master.
醒过来。
And then I woke up.
他做梦啊，
She had a
第一
dream.
请问师尊，
First,
我的
my question is,
我入方式是否要改？
should I change the
中
way
脉
I
出去，
enter
进入
so
虚
that it
空。
exits from the central channel to the sky?
往生时
And
一定要
two,
从中脉
at the moment of
离开
death,
往生吗？
must one soul leave from the central channel?
问我的入我入的方式
The
是
question,
否要改？
should I change the way I
中
enter
脉出去，
so that
进
it
入虚
exits
空。
from the central channel to the sky?
那我这个时候告诉你，
So, I'm telling you now,
你第一个问题，如果从中脉出
for
去
the first
进
question,
入虚空，
if you leaves from the central channel into the
进入
sky,
虚空，不知道你进入虚空的哪里。
but which part of the sky?
其实这个方法呢，你用的方法是可以的，
Actually, the method
你
is
用的
okay.
方法是可以的。你现在目前修行是可以的。
Your spiritual cultivation is
从中
okay.
脉出去，进入虚空，
If you leaves from the central channel
应该是
into the
从
sky,
全章中脉出去，进入本尊的心中。
it should be you're leaving from the central channel and enter into the heart of your Yidam or of Grandmaster Lu, the heart of Grandmaster Lu. That'll be fine. And at the moment of death, one soul has to leave from the central channel, of course,
密教里面最重要的一个脉，
because in
就是中
Tantayana,
脉。
the most important channel is the central channel.
你的命气，命气
Your life qi
在心轮里面
typically is not
是不动的
moving. The life
但
qi
你
inside
当
the
你
heart
心轮的
chakra
命气动
is
了，
not moving.
从
But when
心
the
轮
life
的命
qi
气
moves,
经过中脉，经过顶
then the
项，
life qi from the heart chakra
然后
through the central
到
channel
诸尊的心中，
and then leaves
从
from
此
the
再
apex
回来。
into the heart of the deities, and you never returned again.
如
That's
果你进去了
death
师尊的如师尊的心
or
中，
reborn in the Pure Land.
然后再回到自己的心中，
If you enter into the heart of Grandmaster and then return to your own heart,
那
that's
是
not
你
the
自
life
己本身
qi,
所观想出来的范身。
but that's the illusory body that you visualize.
所以原则上，往生的时候一定要从中脉离开。
So,
往生
in
这是一
principle,
定的。
that
从别的地方往生
when
都
you
不对，
die, you have to leave from the central channel,
因为
and
中
you
脉
cannot leave
跟
from
这个
any
顶
other
项
places,
你如果从眼睛出去，
because the central channels
是失身，
connects with the apex. If you leaves from the eyes, you would be born in
是
water.
畜生。
If you leaves from the ears, you would become
从嘴巴
animals.
出去
If you leave from the mouth, from the nostrils,
都不对，
those are all not
从
right.
气轮出去，
If you leave from the navel chakra, that's even worse.
从这个
If you leave from the base chakra or the secret chakra, that's even worse. So the only way to be reborn into the Pure Land, to go to the Buddha land, to be in union with your Yidam, is to leave from the central channel through the apex, the tip of the head, to be reborn into the Pure Land. Then that would be correct. Only this is correct. So you don't necessarily have to change your practice. Next question from Malaysia. Amy, the question, Grandmaster, for the 100,000 times of performing the great homage of the 4 preliminary practices, can I just do push-ups like Grandmaster every morning for 200 times to complete it? Thank you, Grandmaster. Push-ups? I normally do 30 times push-ups. And then I collect them to be 200 times. That's push-ups and not great prostration or great homage. Push-ups are push-ups, not prostrations. And we all know about the great homage or great prostrations Dharma practice is you perform the great prostration with all 5 points. So 1 count with 1 down and up. So the 5 points all flat on the ground, and then you stand up. That's 1 time. And you bow, and then all the way down, flat on the ground, and then standing up again. That's twice. And you have to do it for 100,000 times. So you cannot use push-ups for it, because push-ups are push-ups. And great prostration is great prostration. Great prostration is like this. You bow, and then you go down flat on the ground, and then you stand up again. That's counted as 1. 1 more time. Bow and down, flat on the ground, and up and stand up again. That's great prostration. But push-up is you come down, and then with 2 arms, and then you push up 30 times. So push-ups are not great prostration. Don't think that 30 push-ups considered as 30 great prostrations. So you should follow the proper way to perform the great prostration for 100,000 times according to the rule. And you also have to visualize. And you push and straighten up your arms, and you visualize in front of you all the deities, or one deity, or your yidam, or thousands of them. Either one is fine. So you cannot skip and do shortcuts. That's the answer. Then a third question from Taiwan. Tu Ai
请问
Chin,
师尊，弟子有一个
Dear
知
Master,
己好友，
I have a
除
very
了严重的
close
睡
friend,
眠障碍之外，
and
其身上同
he
时
has
有高血压、
insomnia,
心
hypertension,
脏病、
heart
糖尿
problems,
病，
diabetes,
病业很重。这位好
and
友
his
不
karma
愿
is grave,
意愿自
but
行
he
做
has no
米
intention to
收场，
perform the
若
Dharma
有弟
practice
子
of
帮他，
eliminating negative energy through
非
rice and
血
clothes.
亲眷属，
Since we are not
做米收
blood
场，
related,
弟子是否需要承担他
if
的
I
业
do it
力？
for him, will I have to burden his
他
karma?
的好朋友，这个读爱群的一位好
Her
朋友，
close
有严
friend
重的睡眠障碍，
has problems with
同时
his
有高
sleep
血压、心脏
and
病、
also
糖尿病，
hypertension, heart
病
problems,
业很重。
diabetes, and
这位
grave
好友
karma.
便无意愿做
And
米
this
衣
close
收场，
friend has
若
no
由弟子
intention
帮
to
他
perform the Dharma practice of eliminating
可以
negative energy
做
through
米衣
rice
收
and
场，
clothes.
弟子是否需要承担他的
If I
业
do
力？
it for him,
我
will I
们
have to
下
burden his karma? Let me consult.
莲花爱情论。
The question by Lian Hua Ai Chun.
按照指示，
According to the guidance,
承担他的业力，
uh,
帮他做。
by
谢谢你的
helping
慈
him,
悲心，
you don't have to
不用
burden his
承
karma.
担他的业
That's
力，
due to your compassion.
不会承担他的业力。
You will not have to
这是回
burden
答
his
莲花
karma.
爱情。
That's the answer to the question by Lian Hua Ai Chun.
高血压、
Actually,
糖尿病、
hypertension,
心脏
diabetes,
病，
heart disease
这个都是很难治的。
are very difficult to cure.
diabetes 是到现在目前
Up till
只
now,
能够减轻，
you can
一直
only
到现在还没有
lessen
真
the
正糖尿病的
diabetes.
真正的能够消除
Up
这个
till
糖
now,
尿
there
病
is no
这个药，还
true
是没有
drugs
只
that
能
can
够降
completely
它的血糖
cure
降
diabetes.
血糖的药，
It can only lower
并不能够
the
根除，所以是
blood
慢性病。
sugar. It's a chronic
高血
illness,
压一般来
cannot
讲
be completely
血压
eradicated.
向上，
And
我们
hypertension,
是讲几岁血压向上？1岁出场亮相，
at 1, you're
10岁
born with merriment.
学
At
业至
10,
上，
you are
20
into your study.
青春
At your
荡漾，
20s, you're at the top of your
30岁
youth. At your
职
30s,
场闯荡，
you're into your career.
40
At 40s,
稍微化
you
开，
start to gain weight.
50岁
At 50s,
老当益壮，60岁
it's
就
you're
血
at the
压上
prime
升。
of your life. At 60s,
这是老
you
人的
start
病，
to
高
have
血压是老人的病，但是现在年轻
hypertension.
人也有高血压哦。
So hypertension is the illness of the older people, but nowadays even young people have hypertension.
心脏病也
It's
是很
also a
麻烦，
chronic problem.
你心脏
And
病
heart
吃
disease
糖太
too.
多也会影响到
If
心
you
脏病。
eat sweet too much, it would
睡眠障碍，
affect heart
一
problems
般
too.
老人啊，3个老人
Problems with sleep.
就有一个睡眠障碍，
1 out of
就有3
3
个人当中就有1个人有
elderlies
睡
have
眠障碍，
problems with their sleep.
这个都是慢性病。
These are all chronic
米衣
diseases.
受煞法可以治慢性病吗？
And you use
这个还是有
the
一个
Dharma
问题，
practice of eliminating negative energy through rice and clothes
因为冲
to
煞
cure these
你
chronic
冲了煞，
problems.
才用米衣收煞法。
You use this Dharma
因为是煞
practice of rice and clothes
有鬼
to
神病
eliminate
你才
negative
用米衣
energy.
收煞法，
or problems by the ghost. But for chronic illnesses, if you can resolve the chronic illnesses by performing this practice of rice and clothes, then we would put on the fireworks for you. But eliminating negative energy through rice and clothes is like when you encounter negative spirits or energy, like if you got or encountered ghosts and gods and negative energy, then you use it to eliminate it. But for chronic illnesses, if you can really do it, we will congratulate you. But doing this, you will not burden his karma. From Malaysia, Lian Tan. Grandmaster taught us that in the morning, reciting Namo Hiking Avalokitesvara Sutra 6 times, our whole body is purified. How do the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas shine light to bless us? In your book 264, Dreams Amidst Dreams, you wrote that it is the brow point of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas which radiates light. So, how do I visualize the brow points of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas radiating light upon the 6 ports? Do I need empowerment for it? Grandmaster said that in the morning, reciting Namo Hiking Avalokitesvara Sutra 6 times, our whole body is purified. How do the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas shine light to bless us? Well, you go ask the Hiking Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. How do the Bodhisattvas shine light to bless you? So the Hiking Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva should answer. So should we visualize the brow points of the deities radiating light upon the 6 parts? Do I need empowerment? Let me consult. So the Hiking Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, is it your brow point that shine light to bless those chanting the name of the sutra? The Hiking Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva said, not just the brow point. The Hiking Guan Yin can radiate light through all his body. And the 6 parts of the Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva can radiate light upon you. So, the 6 parts on your body have the lights of Hiking Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva shining upon them. Do we need empowerment? Yes. This Dharma practice needs empowerment. Chanting Namo Gao Wang Guan Si Yin Jing 6 times. Namo Gao Wang Guan Si Yin Jing. Namo Gao Wang Guan Si Yin Jing. Namo Gao Wang Guan Si Yin Jing. Repeat 6 times. And any parts of the Hiking Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva can shine light upon you.
台湾的莲花俊伟问的。
From Taiwan, Lian Hua Junhui.
弟子已受依喜抽嘎活母灌顶，最近也观业心
I have received the empowerment of Ishichugal, and I have read the sadhana of Ishichugal, and I have some questions. In the visualization of oneness, that at the mundus there are two red triangles, is that the Dharma generator palace of the Vajravarahi? E-S. Yes. The two red triangles are the Dharma generator palace of Vajravarahi. Second, the transformation that Ishichugal was seated at the lotus in the heart chakra, and home or she appears from where, and how it radiates light to purify our body, speech, and mind. Sometimes the Ishichugal is already seated on top of the lotus of our heart, and the home syllable or she syllable represent the hearts of Ishichugal, the heart chakra of Ishichugal. So home syllable and she syllable appear from the heart chakra of Ishichugal, and that's the same as your heart chakra. Simply said, Ishichugal entered into your central channel and then be seated on top of the lotus of your heart chakra. Is she always that tiny? No. She should gradually enlarge to become exactly like your body. Then at that moment, the practitioner has transformed to become Ishichugal. And Ishichugal is the practitioner, and the practitioner is Ishichugal. So at this time, the heart chakra of Ishichugal is the same as the heart chakra of the practitioner. So that's the heart chakra of Ishichugal. So naturally, there would be the home syllable radiating light, or her sit syllable she radiating light. Where does it appear from? From the heart chakras of the practitioner and Ishichugal. And they can radiate light to purify the body, speech, and mind of the practitioner. All the same, they radiate light in the heart chakra, and that already purified the practitioner's body, speech, and mind. So this is the combination visualization. The third question, why is it being crossed? The mantra chanted in the ceremony, but in the sadhana, there are three other mantras. That's the mantra I chant, Om Pecha Ishichoka Padma Siddhi Hom, which means of the universe, the wise Ishichugar Yidam, and her lotus pure land is perfect. Om Pecha Ishichoka Petma Siddhi Hum. And the translation is Om, the wise Ishichogar Yidam, and her lotus pure land are perfect. So I chanted that earlier. Om Pecha Ishichoka Petma Siddhi Hum. And the mantras written in the sadhana, the meaning of the first one, Om, the wise Ishichogar, lotus pure land, accomplished, perfect. So it's the same. If we add CD, means attainment. And Om Pecha Ishichoka Padma Hum Hum Pe. So the lotus, and to eradicate all hindrances. So the Hum Hum Pe is by the purity of the lotus we eradicate all kinds of obstructions and hindrances. And Pecha Ishichoka Padma Se Choka is Om, the wise Ishichogar, and the lotus pure land, and the Sit syllable, which is the same as Amitabha's pure land. Soha is perfect. They are all the same. All these four mantras are the same. No difference. The monkey asked the masseur, how much is it to massage the whole body? And the masseur said, 20 bucks. And the monkey asked again, how about just for the neck? How much is it? And the masseur replied, 3.
按摩一般来讲，按摩全身啊20块钱，按摩脖子是附加的嘛，就不用钱。
So
按摩师讲不用钱。
No need for
小
money.
猴子，这个猴子呢，高兴的对门外喊：“长颈鹿，你赶快进来！”
So the monkey was really happy and said, "Oh giraffe, please come in. I'm paying. That would be, you'll get the neck massage." And the masseur said, "Oh shit." Because the giraffe is very tall and all neck. This is a joke. This is a joke about language. Yeah, this is play of word in Chinese.
这个人问：“你们有电源吗？”那个你电源就回答：“先生，我就是电源。”
Because Chanyan is power outlet, but it also sounds like a salesperson. It's only meaningful in Chinese.
我要可以插的电源，我要可以插的电源。他告诉警察，他这个店员叫他警察，警察先生，事情经过就是这个样子。警察讲说好了，不要再说了，对方现在要告你性骚扰，有可以插的电源吗？
So it is sexual harassment. He's asking for power outlet, and it's misunderstood as a salesperson.
对不对？没想到那个店员说我就是店员，他那个人又问我是要能够插的店员，结果他打电
That
话
I just want an outlet that can be plugged.
找他欣赏，
But she instead called the police and charged him with sexual
有些误
harassment.
会。
So sometimes it's a misunderstanding.
我在讲这个道果，
Now let me continue to talk on Lamdre
复制
about the
分两种，
skillful means. The third one, the bliss practices. The first one is bliss practices relying on the spiritual experiences above, and bliss practices relying on the secret dual execution below. This is the instruction on the meaning of the branch, as stated in the verse.
教是知分一
Quote, all kinds of bindings, etc.,
种种结
referring to all kinds of palaces in the naval area.
一等日
Quote,
列
the
说
etc. is the sum of the three palaces.
心所依宫殿，
The palace relied upon by the mind, the palace of the function of the throat, and the indestructible palace of the apex of the head. The verse, quote, the 10 fundamental qi, etc., end quote.
摄持之
So it is divided into 10.
己各气各
The verse, quote,
名为
the 7 parts of absorption, end
前
quote,
述气
meaning each of the qi has 7 parts as described above, such as name, etc., for a total of 70 of them.
次第指以内，即以内持机，悟根本气之
The
力，
verse, quote, the sequence of the branchial qi stops internally, end quote.
停止以
It
内，
means by upholding the power of the 5 basic qi as the foundation,
令
the moving
陀离
5 branchial qi also gradually stop internally.
界会
It suggests that the wind or qi circulation gives to the rising of the kundalini fire
送以
to open the channels and the amrita accumulates.
多明点，
The understanding
为一切脉冲
of these 3 principles is a step toward generating meditation.
转化尽分成
The
明点
verse, quote, bursting forth lots of light drops, end quote, meaning that all channels, the ambrosia or element is all transformed into light drops,
开
like churning the milk into butter.
绽开
The blossoming turns into profusion. If only 1 light drop bursts forth, then it is by the blessing of 1 dakini.
二等，一
If
如是
2,
了之，
then understand it as
所
so.
一等七，
The verse, quote, the clutching relied upon, end quote, refers to the light drops naturally dwelling at the 4 precious channel palaces, and as one's cultivation power increases, it descends to all the fine channels. The above 2 practices are the continuum to bless oneself by use of the Samaya Dakini and Wisdom Dakini, and it is the cause to rise to meditation.
你们看到这个修乐这一段文字，谁能够解？
Anyone can explain this excerpt about bliss practice?
现在里面
The
做的
Dharma
是上师跟
masters
法师，
and
请问谁能够解释这一段？
the Dharma teachers. Now inside the hall, only
文字哦，
masters
他写的
and
这个文字，真的是
Dharma teachers here. The wordings, how do you say? It's very convoluted. The wording's extremely unreadable. So you don't understand reading it. You don't know what it means. It's really very befuddling. That's why the Mongolian living Buddhas are called as Utu Ketu. Utu Ketu is Mongolian living Buddhas. And in Chinese sounds like Huli Hutu, which is like totally befuddled. Lamdre, some wordings in Lamdre Psalms can be understood, but some completely cannot be understood. So the verse so it is from the Vajragata, which is the Vajra verse of Lamdre. This has to be explained. Again, practicing the bliss, there are 4 kinds. One is bliss, superior bliss, supreme bliss, and innate bliss. So bliss is the same as joy. To practice the bliss, divided into 2. Bliss practices relying on the spiritual experiences above, and bliss practices relying on the secret dual execution below. So, for the bliss practices relying on the spiritual experiences above is when the Yidam or Dakini bless you. Then you can perform the practice of the 4 bliss. The second, bliss practices relying on the secret dual execution below. The secret dual execution is the consort practice to perform the 4 bliss. And to understand it from the lineage root guru. So either of the bliss practices has to be explained by the lineage root guru. The first one is in the area of single practice by man. And the second is the secret practice that can only be taught by the lineage root guru. So, now the instruction on the meaning. The verse said, in quote, all kinds of bindings, etc. So the channels inside our bodies are not completely smooth and open. When you try to open your channels, you have the dakinis to bless you in order for you to feel the bliss. Or you have the secret consort. When the qi connects with qi, When you try to move the qi, you open the channel knots. And by opening all kinds of knots, you will experience all kinds of bliss. It refers to all kinds of palaces. And the etc. is the Sanskrit syllable. Is the sum of the 3 palaces. The heart chakra is the channel knot, throat chakra is a channel knot, and the crown chakra is also a channel knot. The crown chakra, heart chakra, and throat chakra are all channel knots. And instead they use the term palace. The verse, the 10 fundamental qi. So actually, there are the 5 kinds of qi plus 5 branchial qi for a total of 10. And the 5 kinds of qi are the upper qi, lower qi, fire accompanying qi, peripheral qi, and the life qi. And the branchial qi, also 5, so for a total of 10. The verse, the 7 parts of absorption, meaning each of the qi has 7 parts as described above, such as name, etc., for a total of 70 of them. We've talked about this, the name, location, the pain, the function, etc. Those that we have talked about last time, for a total of 70 formulas, 70 kinds of explanations. The verse include the sequence of the branchial qi stops internally. It means by upholding the power of the 5 basic qi as the foundation, the moving 5 branchial qi also gradually stop internally. What does it mean? So when you use 5 kinds of qi and the 5 branchial qi, which is at the brow chakra, throat chakra, heart chakra. So they stay at the chakras, and the chakras are actually the knots. And they use palace. And it suggests that the qi circulation gives to the rising of the Kundalini fire. To open the channels, and the Amrita accumulates. The understanding of these 3 principles is a step toward generating meditation. So qi, the wind, the qi channels and light drops, and accumulate and opening the channel knots. And this is the step or a method that you can attain samadhi. The verse, bursting forth lots of light drops. The methods to generate light drops is by relying on food and diet to increase the light drops. You rely on your own the body chakra at the brow chakra, and you rely on the inner fire to melt the light drops, to generate light drops. So at all channels, the ambrosia is transformed into light drops, like churning the milk into butter. Like when you, this method is like churning the milk into butter. You churn the milk into yogurt, and you churn the yogurt to become cheese. So the same concept. So you churn the light drops to become yogurt, and then you churn the yogurt to become cheese. And the blossoming turns into profusion. And how to burst forth, I will not explain. Even if I explain it, you will not understand. You have to further explain it. And the blessing of the Dakini. So the blessing of the Dakini, or the blessing using the secret. Dakini. And the verse, clutching relied upon, refers to you follow these methods, that light drops naturally dwelling at the four precious channel palaces, and as one's cultivation power increases, it descends to all the fine channels. And the above two practices are to continue to bless oneself by use of the Samaya Dakini and Wisdom Dakini, and it is the cause to rise to meditation. So you use the light drops that you can abide at the four palaces, and they are the palace of the brow chakra, the palace of the throat chakra, of the heart chakra, and of the navel chakra, or the secret chakra. And you generate the inner fire at the navel chakra. Then the secret chakra palace, the heart chakra palace, the throat chakra palace, and the brow chakra palace. Because your cultivation power increases, other than those palaces, it will also reach all the fine channels in the body. In our body, we have 72,000 channels. It will reach the fine channels up to the skin pores. And you use this method to bless yourself in continuum, then it can rise to meditation. So from bliss, you can rise to meditation. So the merging of light drops and inner fire, the assimilation of two, and by churning it, it becomes yogurt. And you use this method to abide at the palaces and to open all the chakras and the channels and to reach all over the body. And at that moment, that's the cause to rise to meditation. That's the explanation of this excerpt. It's very difficult to explain. So even after my explanation, you go back home and read that excerpt again, and you would still be muddle-headed. if I have not done the practice myself, I would not have been able to explain it. What was written there? A couple went to see a doctor, and the husband is extremely quiet, and yet the wife talked non-stop. Doctor, my husband had lost sleep for 3 nights. What should we do? And the doctor said, okay, here let me prescribe 3 nights of sleeping pills and just take them every night and it'll be fine. But my husband is allergic to sleeping pills, so don't worry, it's you that should take it. What does this mean? This is what that's why I often ask, when I give wedding blessing, I always ask the man, does your girlfriend love to talk? And he answered, no. And I said, congratulations, you would be really happy in the future. And then if I ask the man, does your girlfriend love to talk? And he answered, oh, she talks all the time. Oh, no. Then you can't even sleep at peace, in peace. So if you can marry a girl that doesn't talk, then you should put on fireworks. Lots of women nags and talks so much. I went to the noodle shop, to the fast food shop, and ordered a cup of soup. And the boss asked, do you want the $30 one or the 50 NT dollar one? And I said, $50 one. And the soup is served, and I just asked, so what's the difference between the $30 one and the $50 one? And the boss answered, no difference. It's just that some people want to pay 50 and some people just wants to give 30. So the boss understands psychology. I have told the joke before. A coffee stall, like a outdoor cafe, and a waitress asked, do you want to drink coffee? And that person said, no, I don't drink coffee. And it was slow business. So they fired the waitress because she always go and ask, do you want some coffee? And some people say yes, some people say no. And then the other waitress, now it's a new waitress, and she asked different, do you want hot coffee or cold coffee? And some people answered cold coffee, some people hot coffee. So actually it's free to sit there, but because the question was, do you want hot coffee or cold coffee? Then business was good. So you need to know how to speak. Would you like some coffee? And the option is no. So then you don't earn the business. But if you ask, do you want hot coffee or cold coffee? Then you would earn some money. someone called Atta loved to go to the night market for the food, but there are lots of pickpockets in Taiwan too. And after finishing eating, the wallet was stolen. And because he couldn't pay, he was brought to the police station. And then one night, he didn't want to try, so the wallet is empty, and placed the money in the thief pickpocket-proof belt. And after he finished eating, he felt that the belt was loose, and the belt was being cut, and the money is gone, but the wallet is there. And I felt really embarrassed. And the boss said, "Oh, someone paid for you, and here's a note for you." And on the note it said, "Please never doubt our expertise." So it doesn't matter where you hide your money, it will still be stolen. So you have to be very careful when you go to the night markets. And especially at the tourist places, especially in Europe, the pickpockets are extremely many there. And because of the coronavirus, the pickpockets gathered and demonstrated a protest that they wanted the tourism to be open again. Last night at 10 p.m. I drove up to the Yangming mountain, and I woke up in my dream, and I discovered everybody's gone, even the driver, and the bus still driving slowly around the mountain roads. I was trembling and shouted, "Ghosts!" And people outside the bus said, "Ghosts?" There was the voice saying that we are pushing the bus up the mountain and you are sleeping, only you are sleeping inside. So there's a reason to everything. The lover spoke with the old lover, the ex-lover. We have separated for so long. So, how is your life? In the past, when we cross the street, you always hold my hand. But whom are you holding now? But it's okay. You know, actually it doesn't matter. I just got my driver license. So when you cross the street, in the future, be careful. So it's a threat. The teacher asked us to write an article about romance, and the language should be precise, and it has to have beginning and end, and the number of words is not specified. And Xiaoming just wrote, "Teacher, can you marry me?" And the teacher kicked him out of class.
这个跟疫情有关的。
This is related to the
有一个
pandemic.
男子下班回到家，
A
洗完
man
手就坐
got
下
off
来用餐。
work and got
尝
home,
了几
and
口，
after washing
抱
his
怨我
hands,
所煮的菜
he
肴
started to eat,
淡而无味，
and after a few
辣。
mouthfuls,
太太呢，
he complained that this is completely
电
tasteless,
话告诉市府单位，说他先生没有味觉。
and the wife called the health department and said that
这
the
个
husband has lost
检疫
his
所呢
taste
就派车把
sense,
这个男子带走并隔离14天。
and then he was taken away and to be isolated
千
for
万别
14
嫌老
days.
婆的
So
手
the
艺，
warning
否则
is
关你2个礼拜。
never complain about your wife's cooking, otherwise you will be isolated for 14 weeks. For 2 weeks. That's all for today. Thank
非
you
常
very
感谢
much.
法王圣尊言生